welcome. Come with me as I repurpose and reclaim things that have been thrown away and forgotten. In today's video, I'm going to upcycle these items that I got from the local flea market. They were on the dollar table, and so each item was $1. Here's a wall hanger. I think I may make a little herb basket out of it. Copper watering pot. This little tin planter, which is solid. It's pretty nice. It has a few little rust spots on it. And then this pitcher. It's pretty solid. So let's get started. I started off with the watering pail. I had hoped that I could leave it the copper, but it was too worn and tattered. So I had some black hammered spray paint that I had on hand, so that's what I used. I had bought this spray paint for a different project and had never used it, but I was pretty impressed of how the spray paint actually did look textured. After the spray paint completely dried, I still wanted the little decal, the flowers on the side, to show up just a little bit more, so I added a white glaze. Well, the white glaze did not cover like I wanted it to. So I ended up going to just a white paint, watering it down just a tad. All I did was dip my paintbrush into some water, then in the white paint, and go different sections of the watering can at a time, back and forth until I got it the color that I wanted. For the planter, I thought I could just clean it up and paint it, but no. When I started washing it down, the paint started to come off, chip off. So I wanted to make sure that the paint that I put on there stayed on, and prepping is the key. I went ahead and scraped off what paint I could get off, and then took a wire brush and brushed it down before I painted it. It took about 4 coats to completely cover, letting each coat dry in between. I had these napkins that I bought from the dollar store. I'm going to decoupage on part of the planter. I began by tearing the napkins. I like the tattered look of it being torn than the cut sharp look that if you used a pair of scissors would give. When decoupaging onto anything, you want to cover the bottom coat of your subject, put your napkin or paper that you're decoupaging, and then put another coat of your Mod Podge over it to seal it. Sometimes you can go back with even a second coat over the top. Most napkins are 2-ply, or some may even be 3. When decoupaging using the napkins, you want to use only one layer, the layer that has the print on it. This will give it a more transparent look. After the first layer of decoupage dried, I went back and put a second coat just to seal it. Now for the picture, and of course it wasn't real wood, however it is pretty solid. So I began by applying a black layer of base coat. I used some black chalk paint because that's what I had, but you could use any color or a paint or any, it doesn't have to be chalk paint. I decided I would stencil on the board. I like using chalk couture stencils, and they're paste. They're easy to work with, and you can reuse them. The paste is permanent once it dries, and it's very forgiving. I liked the black background, however it showed up every little flaw that the board had. So in order to cover that up, I went ahead and took the same napkins that I used before and decoupaged around the edges. This covered up all the flaws that was in the board. Same process as before. Put a layer of Mod Podge on the bottom for the adhesive. Take your one layer of napkin, lay it on top, then add another layer of Mod Podge to the top, working slowly so that you can keep your wrinkles at a minimum. I didn't worry about cutting the edges until I had it all on there like I wanted it. Then after it dried, I took a straight edge as a guide, and then I was able to tear again the edges to create a border. To make everything blend and look cohesive, I lightly sanded the edges and even over the top of the picture. Those wrinkles that I talked about earlier, that kind of smoothed them down, but also made it look worn. Now for the final project, the basket. I started off by taking the heart away. I left the arches because I'm going to attach a sign to it, and this gave me an area to attach it. The The wall hanging had some little loops over around the edges. I liked them, but I wanted something with a little bit more clean lines, so I went ahead and was going to cut those little curly loops off. Well, this wire is a little bit thicker than what I thought. I was unable to cut it with my handheld tool, so I went and got the bolt cutters, and that seemed to work just fine. I lightened the wire up with that same white paint. I just dabbed it onto a paper towel and rubbed it on the wire. I got this decorative board at the Dollar Tree. It came in a pack of 6 for $1. It was already cut. It's real wood and it's pretty thin and it works great for signs. So I put a base coat of the black paint, then I transferred my saying onto it after it had dried for about 24 hours. I just attached my sign to the top of my basket with some wire. The edges were a little sharp where I had cut off some of the wire, so I took some burlap ribbon and wrapped it around the edge. I think that this gave it a decorative look, but it also served a purpose of covering up the sharp edges. I found these little tin planters from, again, the Dollar Tree. I thought they were so cute, so I bought several of them, and they fit just perfect in this basket. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video has inspired you to do a thrift upcycle of your own.